What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick on the line as always. We're back.
Yeah.
Summer break is over.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot to talk about. NFL offseason. We're going to talk about our favorite. I guess it's not even the offseason anymore. Season's here. We're ready to rock. Couple weeks and it's week one. We're going to talk about our favorite storylines going into 2021. We're going to pick a couple favorite things we want to talk about, what we're looking forward to coming out of this NFL season outside of the Bears and Justin Fields. That's an obvious one. We'll talk about some other ones that we're looking forward to. NBA, our favorite offseason moves. Is it a trade? Is it a sign? Do we have some real new contenders? For example, the Miami Heat. Are they real now in the East? We'll talk about that. Then we'll go into Justin Fields, Chicago Bears. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to jump in. And I'm ready to do it, man. No catch up. Let's go. Let's get it rocking. Oh.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick. What's good?
What's the business?
What's the business? Man, we ain't been on the mic in a couple weeks. It feels like way longer than that.
Yeah, definitely.
It feels like we haven't been on the mic in like a minute.
Well, I think the last time we talked was right after was after the Bucks won, right? I don't think we've done anything since
Bucks,
that. So
Bucks won the title, and then we haven't hopped on the mic since then. So it's good to be back. We got a lot to talk about. Let's jump right into it. First Take Tuesday. Hold on. Let me step back a second. What's good with you? Everything is good. You got Mia's grown now, by the way. This is crazy out here.
Starting middle school in 2 weeks. So we got the open house at Shoot Middle School today. Time is flying, man. I was thinking about it the other day. It's like, man, I'm closer to her going to college than her being born. It's crazy, man. Pocket's about to get hit. Pocket's about to get hit heavy for this university.
Bro, I remember when you called me and said that you were having a baby. That's how that's time flies, bro.
Yeah, it's real crazy. So, and also another thing, I stepped out for the first time, obviously with this pandemic and everything. I went to a wedding this weekend.
Oh yeah,
and dog,
that's
it had
why
been
you
so
was
long.
off a flat.
Yeah, it had been so long. It had been so long since I put on like real shoes, like hard shoes. You know what I'm saying? A button up, a tie, a jacket. Like it felt foreign. And that's when it really made me realize like how long we've really been on lockdown or whatever the hell's going on. Like I haven't worn actual clothes. I couldn't tell you in so long. So felt weird, man.
I feel it. I feel it. All right, let's get into it. First Take Tuesday is here. All takes are welcome. Hot, cold, whatever you got going. Big Nick the Quick, do you have a First Take Tuesday you'd like to give the people back some knowledge on this Tuesday morning?
Yeah, I mean, this is from last week, and I know everybody has talked about this already, but my first take is, man, again, I can't, as a guy who for baseball, for me, at this point is probably like my third or fourth favorite sport, I can't give enough credit to Major League Baseball for the presentation on the Field of Dreams game. When it first came up, I was like, yo, this is going to be corny. I've never seen this movie. I have no interest in seeing this movie. And I don't really know what baseball's trying to do. And certain moments of it were corny, the whole Kevin Costner aspect and all that, super corny. But from the presentation, the way that Fox put it together, the way that they had the field literally in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by all this blackness and cornfields, down to the game itself, just a grade A show. If you're MLB, you obviously need to do some things to try to bring fans in, bring new eyes in, excite the people that you do have that are watching the game, promote the young players. And I just think overall, man, that they did a great job of doing that. And then obviously the walk-off with TA, obviously with the fact that it was my team that was in the game, made it that much better. But I just think overall, man, it looked like you were almost watching like not like a Super Bowl type presentation, but just the way that they handled the presentation was real dope. It was good to watch. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I think I was thinking like, what can other sports do to kind of replicate that. Like I threw the joke on Twitter, they need to let Willie Beeman come out and show a game, throw a pass for the Sharks.
Yeah.
But just overall, just dope, man. Good idea and just like dope presentation on something that I thought was going to be absolutely corny. So
now look, like I got some. So I didn't know this was good. Yo, just so everybody knows, me and Nick come up with our own first takes. I don't hear them beforehand. This is the first time I'm hearing this. I'm gonna go the opposite on you because I think the caliber of the game not saved isn't the right word, but elevated the rest of the presentation. I thought it was completely overdone. They having Kevin Costner walk out and give speeches and all this other shit. I think I saw we talked about Kevin Costner and I like Kevin Costner. He's on the pregame show. He's talking about having catch with his kids.
Big day for Costner.
They showing clips of him and his son doing all this other shit. Yo, I get it. And I made a joke on Twitter. Nobody outside of Tony La Russa, who wasn't even there on the White Sox, has seen that movie.
Yeah, they asked TA. He's like, I've never seen it.
Nah, come on, bro. Nobody's seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
So, was it cool? Yeah, it was cool. Was it completely overdone? Yes. And I think if the game didn't break down and shake out how it did, I think it wouldn't have got the praise that it got. Was it cool? Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. Cool. The corn, cool. Like, I thought it was really overdone. Didn't do it for you.
I thought the Costner shit was overdone. I thought the rest of it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I thought the uniforms were dope.
Yeah.
I really fucked with the old school unis. That was cool. It was cool to have the intimate shit. I still think it was completely overdone, bro. The game took about an hour and 10 minutes to start.
Yeah.
I think the start time was like 7, and the game the fucking game didn't start till like 8:15. I was like, yo, what is happening here? Hey, and let me give you some more context. My baseball vision right now is very bitter as well.
Yeah, well, you're real bitter over there.
Yeah, my baseball lens is super bitter. So I'm like, as I'm watching this, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. Man.
You guys will be in the next year already now, so it's gonna be Cubs Reds next year.
I'm like, yo, man, fuck this shit. Like I'm watching, I'm like, man, start the game, bro. So, but I will say this. People want to talk about a face for baseball and looking for one. There's one on the south side. He plays shortstop.
Been saying it forever.
It's a young black dude that hits for average, hits for power, has swagger. Y'all, everyone
speaks English. Like I'm not trying to be Stephen A, but let's keep it 100.
No,
speaks English, American. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no. But if that's like a thing that's if that's a problem for some people, hey, this guy speaks English too.
From Alabama,
like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to look for a face of baseball. The guy who plays shortstop, he's black. Who they need more folks of that race.
Plays a major market on an absolutely loaded young team.
On a loaded young team, and hits for average is something I want to hammer home too. Like this seems to that has become like a lost thing. Like 220, I'm cool with that. Like,
but I got 25 home runs.
Yeah, bro. Do you remember back in the day when we were coming up? Like, motherfuckers almost had to hit 3 to be even called good.
Even called up. Yep.
If you was batting 260, you was a bum, dog.
Bum.
Like I'm talking Larry Walker, Juan Gonzalez, Craig Biggio. These dudes were like hitters. Tony Gwynn.
Right.
Like now it's just like they have all these advanced metrics and excuses for if you're batting 210, but you can they done made up a couple other boxes.
On base percentage is slugging,
slugging plus this plus that. But nah, my nigga, this nigga bats 220, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, that's a great point, man. I've been saying that. I don't understand why they need to fully lean into the Tim Anderson experience. He's going to sell the game for you. He's going to bring that excitement. I think, but we talked about this before. Baseball can't get out of its own way with these rules, and you shouldn't be happy when you hit a home run and you can't show up a pitcher and all this other bullshit. And if you do what Mercedes did, you get beaned and all that. He hasn't been seeing the major since. So whatever.
Yeah. So I
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, man. I'm sad to hear that you didn't, but maybe maybe next year Cubs versus Reds will do it to you. But then they go and do Cubs versus Reds. It's like, come on, man. You need to bring the major market teams out.
Listen,
like you don't need to see the Cincinnati Reds in there next year. Get the Cubs versus the somebody that met the Dodgers or some shit like that.
Fucking run the. You know what? You know what will be fire? I mean, you'd miss out on too much money, but I was gonna say like run the All-Star game out there. That should be sick.
Oh yeah, no, they need
Something
that
like
bread.
that. They
Yeah.
need that bread though.
Yeah,
But-
they can't do that.
Yeah. So just to recap, I thought it was overdone. I thought it could have been really dope without running Kevin Costner out to center field and have him standing there in a white button-up telling stories and shit.
Looking, gazing off into the,
Yo,
to the
gazing
outfield.
off. Yeah, exactly. I thought the game was incredible, and like I said, my baseball lens is bitter with the Cubs being where they are.
Yeah.
But my first take Tuesday, I gotta stay in the NFL side, and we're about to roll it right into that. I am really sick of the cap from coaches and I'm really done with the lying on the mic. It really pisses me off. I feel like there's ways that you can go about things. I don't even have anything specific, but just like listening to people talk about quarterback situations or like what they expect from the team. It's like, just tell us the truth, bro. I think am I just being naive to think that we're going to get the truth out of these dudes, or should I expect that, or should I just not listen to anything anyone's saying?
When you get the truth, you get the Anthony Lynn press conference from last year. The guy, he asked him a question. He said,
too much
I don't
truth.
know. I just don't know. I'm not too sure.
Too much truth.
No, I mean, I put out, it wasn't from a coach, but it was from that player from the Jets yesterday who said that, hey, anybody who's sleeping on the Jets, you're going to get your asses rolled. And I'm like, preseason cap at an all-time high. I've been watching the Jets the last few years. There's no one on earth is scared of the New York Jets for the 2021-2022 NFL football season. So I think it's the same thing with some of these coaches where they talk about some of these evaluation processes. Like, look, man, like Belichick knows who's starting for the Patriots, right? Nagy, I think, knows who's going to start for the Bears. Like, I think these guys have made their decisions already. They're just kind of talking about these processes and all this other bullshit that they're going through. But it's just coach talk. That's what they give you all year.
Or is that just part of the game?
It's just part of the game, man. That's why I don't understand why people like say anything about Belichick not giving answers. It's like, look, if you want him to give you an answer, he's going to come up there and lie. So would you rather have him give you nothing, or would you rather have him lie to you to your face? At least he has the respect for you to not give you bullshit. You know what I mean? He's just not really going to answer the question. But I think, yeah, a lot of that coach talk, it's always cat, man. These guys, you can tell when they're getting up there and getting raw and honest. You can tell when they're giving the company line. And right now during the preseason, these guys are so locked in and they got what they got going on that they're not going to come out there and tell you too much about the process.
Yeah, and you know what else it is? I think some of these dudes in the media or that are in the room just ask these soft ass questions, don't follow up. Like I really wish they would let us in the room. And we don't work for The Athletic. I don't work for CBS. I'm gonna be like, yo, hold on a second, bro. What do you mean you don't know who the quarterback is?
Yeah.
Why is it?
What have you been watching?
What makes you think that Andy Dalton should get more reps as QB1 than Justin Fields? I know you're in the building, but what we're watching out here, that makes no sense. Can you explain that? Like simple shit like that. So that shit pisses me off. We got to get some credentials quick. Get in there and start.
Yeah, real talk. For real.
Start really bothering.
Well, like listen like the Cowboys talk about Dak. It's like they can't give you a straight answer on what the hell's going on. It's like you guys know exactly what the hell's going on. You know how long he's going to be out. You know that week one is in doubt, or you don't feel comfortable about week one, but you don't want to come out and tell us.
Right.
You know, it's just we're going through this. We don't want to have any more soreness. Look, man, if a quarterback is not throwing the ball every day at this point in camp, something is wrong. Something is wrong, especially if that quarterback didn't throw last year because he was hurt. So really, Dak has played 2 games. Or what did he get hurt in game 1 last year? Was it was a game 1 or game 2?
It was like game 4.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
He hasn't thrown the ball in a year. He's not throwing currently in training camp. And you're trying to tell me everything's okay?
Yeah, right.
Who's throwing the ball to your Danucci? Who's throwing the ball to your quarterback, to your receivers? Who is CeeDee Lamb getting work with?
Yeah,
who's getting the timing down? Like, I'm sorry, Dak needs to be out there, and you can't sit here and tell me that it's okay or it's precautionary that your quarterback isn't throwing in the 3rd or 4th week of training camp.
Yeah. You know what's interesting too is they got the Hard Knocks there. So we kind of get a little.
You see how worried McCarthy was when they saw that injury?
Yeah.
Boy had to walk off the field. He went over to tackle the dummy and did one of these. That's never a good sign. Like, they know the drill. Like, stop that. Don't lie to the people.
No,
I see it in your face. You're worried.
That's why it's interesting. Because I think episode 2 comes out tonight or tomorrow. Tonight, right?
Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, tonight. Yeah,
tonight, right? Yeah. So that'll give us a little inside peek too, even if they like it or not. So,
but that's a perfect example of the coach cap. It's like, yeah, you can't lie to me,
right? And I think it's interesting that that's exactly why a guy like Bill Belichick will never do Hard Knocks. Nope. Like, bro, y'all not finna be. I'm not gonna have people injured out here, and then I got HBO putting
like
boom mics over everything and shit. Yeah. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. All right, let's move over to the NFL. We were just kind of talking about it anyway. Pro football is here, man. It's I don't know if it's just like an American thing, bro, but it's something about the summer winding down, fall's on the way, NFL football is pulling up, and that's exactly where we're at right now. We got a reason to be excited in Chicago, which makes it 100 times better, because there was definitely a period where the Chicago Bears were going to start the NFL season, and I was going to be like you see me shrugging, like very just whatever. Like, okay, here we go. It
was looking real blah.
It was looking real bleak. So I'm glad that we got something to look forward to, something to count on for a storyline, if it's that and that only. But before we get into the Bears, Big Nick the Quick, it's a lot going on. We got Rodgers back, turning down Big Bread. He essentially telling motherfuckers, this is my last year in Green Bay. Everybody kiss my ass. And I want all my homies that I used to play with so we can get one last season together before I get up out of here. We have the New England Patriots with Cam Newton and Mac Jones. They both look super sus in game 1 of the preseason. I know it's the preseason, but there's a lot of question marks there. We have the Baltimore Ravens. I've been doing all my research. We got the Baltimore Ravens saying they want to focus on the pass game. They want to focus on the deep pass game. They added Rashad Bateman in the draft for Minnesota. He gets hurt. We're trying to see a status on him. They added Sammy Watkins. Tons and tons of stuff to talk about. We obviously got the Chiefs. The Chiefs are so good that they fly under the radar now type shit. We got the Bucks.
But low-key made some early offseason moves to fix their offensive line. They added Orlando Brown. They brought your boy Kyle Long back out of retirement.
Yeah. So, the Bucks, can they go back-to-back? Tom is Tom, and Tom said he feels better than ever. First time he won't wear a knee sleeve. So,
and brought back 22 starters, right? Was it then we got 22 starters?
No, they brought back everybody. Yeah. Everybody. The Bucks are on the Lakers tip. The Lakers and the Bucks are the same thing. They got a big time older Hall of Fame GOAT type player, and everyone wants to play. Let's try to get another ring with this dude. Give me your favorite storyline going into the year. It could be a team player, whatever. Going into the start of this 2021 season.
Yeah, kind of like a two-parter. First would just be that quarterback hierarchy. I think last year you kind of saw a lot of guys emerge, whether it be a Josh Allen as a guy who's his 4th or 5th year, or even a rookie like a Justin Herbert, kind of really shatter all the expectations we had for him, because I think that we both thought that he was going to be garbage coming in. He ends up being the best guy out there of all the rookie quarterbacks. It's not even close. So I think just kind of how that QB hierarchy is going to shake out, man. Like now with Breeze gone, and some of these older guys getting older, whether it be Rodgers, Brady, obviously those guys are still going to be elite. But I think this young crop of passers that we got, your Herbert, your Kyler Murray's, your Baker Mayfield's, like which of these guys is going to kind of take that next leap that Allen did last year and kind of establish himself into an MVP candidate? And then further than that, just which of these rookies, man? I think the rookie quarterbacks, a chance that all 4 of these guys are going to end up playing. 4 or 5 of these guys, I'm losing the number, are going to end up playing significant time. And which one of them is going to be the best? Obviously, we got a rooting interest in Justin Fields. We want to see him succeed. But outside of being Bears fans, like which of these guys? Like I want to see this Lance guy. Saw him in the uniform the other day on the highlights. I'm like, yo, this dude, I don't know if he can play or not. Looks great in an NFL uniform. Like looks like he belongs on an NFL roster, right? So I want to see what he's talking about. I want to see what this Wilson character out of BYU is talking about, because I'm very sus on him. I don't know how I feel about that guy.
I'm very sus. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. So I think you get a lot of storylines just at the quarterback position. Again, the young rookies, which one of them is going to come in, and then which of these guys is going to take that huge leap again, like we saw Josh Allen do, like we saw Lamar Jackson do the year before when he won the MVP. Like, I think, one of these guys is kind of destined for that. I would love to see it be Kyler Murray. It looked like he was headed that way towards the first half of last year, then that team kind of fell apart. But I think him and that Hopkins relationship, like, I think you got some guys out there who are really ready to burst on the scene. And I want to see who it's going to be.
Because it's kind of split, right? You got – I love that storyline because there's a lot of because I love quarterback play. Quarterback play all day, and because it's kind of like there's Brady, there's Roethlisberger, there's Rodgers, there's Matt Ryan, there's Russell Wilson. You could kind of put him in that. He's that older,
the old head, like what you're gonna get,
exactly right. Then you have like this completely second wave of Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun. Exactly those type of guys. Herbert. Then you got like the even younger guys, but still that second middle tier. Burrow. Yeah, those guys are going to be around for a very, very long time. So it is interesting to see. And then you got the rookies, like you said. It is going to be an interesting shakeout. It's funny because guys like Lawrence and our BYU buddy in New York, I don't even like calling. Before I'll talk about Zach Wilson right now, actually, really quick. Before I'm finish this thought, they get to Zach Wilson, but those guys have complete reign. Like they know they're going to get 16 starts, and they know. Like Lawrence knows he's going to get 16 starts for multiple seasons in a row, no matter what. So that's always a really interesting situation where is this dude going to take over? Is this dude going to take the squad over and kind of try to move them up the ladder? Because the Jags have been bad for a long time outside of that 1 year they went to the AFC Championship against Pittsburgh, which they probably should have went to the Super Bowl, honestly.
Oh, and I know Urban's not committing. That's more coach speak between Minshew and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is the starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't want to hear it.
Every day. Did you hear what Minshew said?
No, what did he say?
He's like, I'm not even taking shits because I don't do number twos. He's like on some like just.
Hey, look, Gardner Minshew, man, it's a great run. You started 32 NFL games. Great job, but it's over with for you, man.
Yeah. So,
but Gardner Minshew has solidified himself a 15-year career in the NFL as a backup. So,
facts.
Mission accomplished. He'll make a lot of money. See Chase Daniel.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yo, Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert still getting a check today.
Blaine Gabbert
rich lives great.
So, all right. Let me give you because I kind of want to get your thoughts on this too. Because I actually sat down and I was thinking about why I don't like Zach Wilson. It's not even that because I don't know how he's gonna play.
Is it his face?
Like, I'm not rooting for Zach Wilson. I don't know. Like,
it's not likable for you.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Trey Lance, I'm rooting for Trey Lance. I hope Trey Lance balls.
Hope he's a monster.
Justin Fields, even if I wasn't a Bears fan, I would hope he balls. Trevor Lawrence, I don't have no problem with Trevor Lawrence.
That's what
I hope he balls. Something about Zach Wilson,
just don't like him.
Tua Tagovailoa, I hope he balls.
Very shaky.
Yes, he does look very shaky.
Very shaky.
I don't. You always think like the SEC guys just gonna pull up and kind of do their thing.
Not these Bama quarterbacks.
He's looking shaky. I ain't gonna hold you.
Very shaky.
But I think it has nothing to do with him being a white quarterback or race or any of that. I think it's more. I feel like the media had picked this guy to anoint to be the number 2 pick, and it was mandatory.
Yeah.
That shit bothers me. Can he play?
And we're watched the film, guys, and we watched the Justin Fields film and didn't see any quarterback better than him in the country other than Trevor Lawrence, so we didn't understand that.
And you know what I think it is too? I think it's also attached to Mitchell Trubisky because that's exactly what happened with him. This dude put up a couple throws, had a couple whatever. And not that Zach Wilson didn't have a massive year for BYU, but
I think he played better than Mitch did at North Carolina for sure. Yeah,
I agree. But like he's not playing top tier talent, and it reminded you know what it is, man. Trubisky Deshaun Watson, and then there's Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, what else do you want this
What else
man
do
to
you want?
do?
What do you want to do?
And why are you putting this man on a pedestal way up here before Justin Fields? I don't understand it. It
Yeah.
pisses me off. So now, subconsciously, obviously, I don't want the young dude to have a rough time, but I'm just
You're
gonna
not,
sit
you're
back
not
and
pulling for him like you would for other young
yes,
guys.
exactly, because I feel like he was kind of gifted this number 2 slot, and it's a lot of speculation. So I'm gonna sit back and look and see what's gonna happen. That's
Yeah.
me keeping it 100. I'm not hating on Buddy. I need him to come out and prove to me that he's worth the number 2 draft pick, and then I can start showing him love, no problem. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Yeah, no, it makes perfect
that's
sense.
just what it is.
Yeah.
So the New York Jets, what a yeah. So that's where I'm at on Zach Wilson. But yo, I love that. I love the quarterback storylines to follow. I think that's dope. I think it's always a lot there.
Where are you at with Baker this year? What do you like? Realistically, what do you expect? Because I think that Stefanski did a masterful job coaching that team last year and really playing to their strengths and minimizing their weaknesses, which is your job as a head coach. Look at your roster, understand what you do well and what you don't do well, and cater your game plan towards that. And I think nobody in the league did a better job of doing that than the Browns. Obviously, it's a big year for Baker. He's going to be up for an extension. We've seen what it looks like when he throws the ball a lot. He's had some good years, had a down year a couple years ago. Then again, obviously last year, a bounce back year. Like, how do you evaluate Baker? A lot of talk on this extension and how he's going to get paid and what he's worth.
I
Is
mean,
he a franchise QB?
It's a good question. I will say this: he was on the brink of like if he had a bad year, he was dead.
Done.
And he didn't, and he bounced back and did his thing. Now he also had best run game in the league
By far.
and he will continue to have the best run game in the
Chubb
league.
and Kareem Hunt, he had
maybe not the best run game in the league because like Baltimore, obviously.
Yeah.
But like talk about 2 complete running backs and
coach was committed to the running game
and having a complimentary running game like
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb are the big dogs, right?
Yeah, 2 elite backs.
So I don't know, man. It feels like another year where he's gonna have to prove that he could play. It's not like one of those things where he's solidified and he can kind of come in and have a down year and still get his deal and that type of shit. I think the jury's still out, as they say. You know what I'm saying? How would I evaluate? I would have got my money already.
If you're Baker?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't know the details. Just from you bringing that up, I would have tried to get my bro. You try to get your money when you have the y'all just want to. Hey man, I just want a playoff game.
We just want a playoff game. Yeah,
we beat the Steelers.
We went
I need my
12-4,
bag.
11-5. Like
Right, bro.
yeah.
I need to get paid now.
Give me my money.
Not when next year when a lot of
Hey,
anything can happen.
Pay me until before my hamstring gets tight.
Yo, real shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think that's the interesting thing about that. Same thing with Dak as well. Like Dak had a monster year and I'm not going to call it a blessing, but him breaking his ankle and then what happened?
Life without Dak.
Yes, and then what happened the rest of the year?
DiNucci, Dalton.
Exactly. That helped him get paid because apparently him playing all year and having good years wasn't enough because he had been doing that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see like what Mayfield's going to do because you just try to strike when the iron's hot. See Dennis Schroeder.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wonder if they try to lowball him and say, "Hey, look, you're not at that level of such and such, but we value you. Maybe we get you something in the $25-30 million range, not quite the $40 to $50 million range. But if you're Baker, you're like, well, no, fuck that. I'll just hit the open market.
Yeah, I mean,
look what it did for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins hit the open market. He's got the largest guarantee ever. It's like quarterbacks don't hit the open market.
That's the thing too. I bring up Dennis Schroeder, but the quarterbacks are a little different.
A little different.
He could go because like he could go out there and have an okay year and probably still clear 20.
You know 20, yeah. 20 is the basement. Yeah.
But I guess to answer your question on do I believe he's a franchise quarterback? Do I believe he could play?
Look, would you go to war with Baker?
Would I go to war with Baker? I think I would.
Okay.
I wouldn't be mad if I think with The running
He's not
game,
going to quit on you, obviously.
with
you
the
know
running
that.
game,
Yeah.
with the running game that they have, and the second year offense and coach coming in, and then
And their defense is nice.
they have young studs on D. They can make
Miles Garrett is a fucking man.
The Steelers are going to have a down year. I'm on record saying they're going to win like 8 games.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be good at all.
Yeah, so I'm on record saying they're going to win like 8 games. So with that, Burrow coming off of ACL, they're going to own the division. The Bengals are the Bengals.
That's true.
Burrow coming off of ACL, the Steelers are going to have a down
the
year.
Ravens. It'll be the Ravens too.
The Ravens are right there, right? But I also think that they got a lot of shit to figure out.
Browns might be the most complete roster out there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and they know what they want to do. Like they know exactly what they want to do every single Sunday.
yeah. So would I go to war with Baker with that roster in that situation? Yeah, I think you would. It's always risky. Paying middle tier dudes big money like Kirk Cousins. But is it more risky than not paying Buddy and then having to get another quarterback? Right. You also got to think about the culture in Cleveland. It's kind of like in Chicago. It's like, hold on, bro.
We've been waiting for a quarterback.
We never had a quarterback forever.
Yeah.
Then we get one. He beats Pittsburgh in the playoffs, and now we're arguing
now
about we're going to pay him or not. Yeah, bro. Come on, man. Like,
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, let's lock the Buddy in. And
this search can go on for another 30 years.
Exactly.
He might not be perfect, but he's our guy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
it seems like he likes Cleveland too. If he fucks with the city like that, like it's an acquired taste. You know what I mean?
He's married.
That's true too. Yeah,
he's a
grounded.
Young married dude. He seems like he's locked. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, man, because they got a lot of talent over there for sure.
Absolutely.
You went more broad than I'm gonna go, but my favorite storyline coming in is the New England Patriots outside of the Bears, because it's very plain as day as to see what's going on out there. Tom Brady leaves. Your team is garbage.
Trash.
And I know you think I hate Bill Belichick and the Patriots and the Patriots organization, but I think it's just is it more Tom or Bill? It was always more Tom. It was
always Tom.
Come on, man. Like this is the best quarterback of all time when it comes to winning ball games.
He's just the best quarterback of all time, period.
Yeah. I gotta hold on. I'm gonna tell you. I
don't even want.
But listen. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I've been saying when that comes up. But I think this is the most interesting situation because Brady leaves, they suck, and Brady left because they were gonna suck. They had no players. They had nothing.
Saw the writing on the wall.
He saw the writing on the wall. He's like, I'm out of here. He knew he couldn't, and he didn't want to deal with Bill. So I'm like, yo, I'm off. Let me hit Grunt. So he dips. They suck. And then Bill Belichick is pissed. He starts spending all types of fucking money. He spends $50 million on Jonnu Smith, who's a fucking monster, by the way.
And grabs another tight end.
Then grabs another tight end, and I'm blanking on his name.
I forget his name too, but he's another good tight end.
Yeah, very good tight end from the Chargers. I can't remember his name. Adds him. They get a bunch of defensive back. He brings back Cam on a 1 year. He drafts Cam Jones and
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, my fault. Yeah, I called him the other day. I called him Mac Newton the other day when I was talking about those two quarterbacks. But yeah, but then he adds Mac in the draft, and now it's like, okay, you saying it's not Tom, and you can win however. Let's see.
Prove it.
Because apparently the D is back.
Yeah.
And this whole quarterback situation, yo, listen, man, we the biggest Cam Newton fans out here. My man's is done.
Done.
He's finished. I hate to say that because I think, he battled a lot of injuries in Carolina. He took a lot of shots and battled through, always played, was always available, no matter what, no matter the heat he took in the media for, his shoulder being injured or whatever. But I think he's done, and I'm just going to kind of sit back and see like what Belichick can do with a dead quarterback and then a rookie behind him. Like what's going to happen? So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. I think what they got going on there is going to be really interesting. I think the Cam stuff is interesting too. I think what happened was obviously he didn't play well last year. I think Belichick loves him though. If you listen to some of the quotes and some things that have been said about him, Belichick just loved after. I think, obviously him and Tom had their differences as far as Tom having his own trainer and kind of doing his own thing. I think Cam Newton's the type of guy who shows up to the building at 6:00 in the morning, leaves at 6 at night, is a positive dude. I think he loves him around the teammates, love having him around the organization, loves him for kind of like a culture setter and a guy that can kind of hold other people in the locker room accountable. I think that's why they brought him back. But yeah, I think this is probably leaning towards Mac Jones just because I don't know what you're really getting from Cam on the football field. I think, again, outside the football field, in the locker room, in the building, he has tremendous value. What a good guy to have to kind of mentor Mac Jones. But yeah, if I'm the Patriots fans, I'm like, hey man, give me Mac. Like, we don't have the weapons to even utilize what Cam does well. We just want to see what Mac can do. He's the type of quarterback that we're used to. And yeah, let's just get it rolling with him. So I fully agree on that.
Man,
I think what they got going on is interesting.
See if we got a player.
Let's see if he can play.
That's it.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Like
Same
thing with Chicago. That's man. Listen, bro.
And I think Cam is cool either way. I think Cam's not an idiot. He knows, like, hey, maybe I can ride this back out thing, pick out a few more million over the next couple of years. It'll be great. Bill loves me. Hey, fine.
It's like, play the best players, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we always arguing about? Who's this or who's that or whatever? Like, play the best players, bro.
Yep.
That's it.
And don't talk. And you know what? I want people to stop talking about this Mahomes model in Kansas City. Do y'all not remember the year that Alex Smith had that year? He was fucking lights out. Lights out. Alex Smith was a Pro Bowler that year. So, yeah, it was easy to keep Mahomes on the bench because you had Alex Smith playing at an elite level. But I'll tell you right now, 2021 Cam Newton is not 2018 Alex Smith. 2021 Andy Dalton is not 2018 Alex Smith. 2021 Gardner Minshew is not 2018 Alex Smith. They knew what they had in Smith. He would have been playing at a high level. He had been a solid quarterback, and he had a lights-out year. So there was never really any debate going on during the year. Andy Dalton won't have that year. Cam Newton won't have that year. It's a little bit different of a decision.
Absolutely.
A little bit different of a decision. The teams were in different places. That was a good Chiefs team. I don't want to hear it. It's not the same as that Alex. Alex Smith wasn't some bum who was just in there. He had been playing good football at that point in his career. It's not Andy Dalton. I don't want to hear that. Go back to pull up Alex Smith's numbers from that year. He was fucking lights out.
Yeah, no, Andy Reid had his ass cooked up. He was
he was lights out. Yeah, so I don't want to hear it. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited for the Patriots. I'm excited for the quarterback play, like you were talking about. Honorable mention. I'm looking forward to seeing the Ravens and Lamar Jackson throw the football because I think that's going to be. I think we're in that space.
I don't have any receivers.
Sammy Watkins. They got Hollywood Brown. This will be year 3, I believe, or year 2.
Hey, you know how we talk about mythical shooters? Sammy Watkins is a mythical wide receiver. It's a mythical wide receiver. It's like, yeah, we got Sammy Watkins. Like, what, we at Clemson? I don't understand. I don't know.
Sammy Watkins.
Tell me your favorite Sammy Watkins moment. Like, he's fine.
He's
cool.
He impacted the Chiefs. He was all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. He's still
okay. He's cool.
He's an NFL wide receiver.
Yeah, he is.
He 2.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just like, hey, we got Sammy Watkins. It's like, oh shit, hold the phone. Like,
no, but I mean, if you need, you know what I'm saying, you need to add some wide receiver talent at all, and Sammy's on the board.
He's solid. Yeah, he's solid.
Add him, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, honorable mention, Lamar Jackson to throw the ball around. I think, I'm gonna tell you this: if I'm in the front office too, and I'm getting because he's up for a deal too, him and Baker, Lamar Jackson up for a deal.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have a deal yet, and if I'm in the front office, I would love to see him throw the ball a lot better. Like, okay, we got a couple people we added for you. I would love to see him throw the ball a lot better before I give you a massive deal. And I'm going to say this. Lamar Jackson's on record saying, I'm not worried about the contract. Essentially, I know it's coming. Don't do that.
Everybody's worried about the contract.
Bro, no. But I'm saying he seemed like he was super comfortable. Like, oh, yeah. Like, and Harbaugh kind of, like, almost like they lulled him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry, Lamar. We'll get you everything you need.
Go get your money.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I haven't had any. Like, have you heard? Let me ask you this: What have you heard about Lamar Jackson?
I've heard him say that I'm not worried about it. That's what it is.
That's it. Yeah. And that's it. And that's all, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it should be done.
Man, like, I got an MVP.
I think after Allen signed his deal, Lamar should be like, okay, I need that. That's the deal I need. That deal makes sense. I like it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fair deal.
It's almost like they lulled him to sleep. Like, yo, don't worry, bro. We'll get you paid. Come out and fucking have a terrible year this year and see and see what type of question marks come out and what type of deal they try to give you.
So he should you're saying his hamstring should get tight too?
Well, no, I'm saying, bro, I'm the clear number one, we're going into a year. You need me. I need a deal.
Need a deal.
You know what it comes down to, bro? If you need me, I need a deal. If I'm expendable and I see that, then cool. You ain't got to give me a deal.
Find another me.
Yeah, go find. Yeah, if you can swap me out, ain't no problem, bro. But if you need me, like I know you do, and the Baltimore Ravens go as Lamar Jackson goes, I need a deal.
I need a deal.
I can't be going into years without a deal. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like I show up like Dak last year. Y'all need me. I need a deal.
I need a deal. I need to get paid. Yep.
So I'm excited to see what he does with that. It's very interesting. I made a video the other day about the rushing total for Lamar Jackson. He had 1,200 yards 2 years ago when he won MVP. Last year he had 1,000 yards. And then this year they have him slated at 900.5 on the rushing total. And
with an extra game.
With an extra game. And I was like, oh, this is telling you right now they're not going to run the ball as much.
Yeah. Vegas knows.
Yeah, so they're going to throw the rock. I'm excited to see what he does. And if you want to talk about rooting for someone, man, I'm rooting for that motherfucker with my whole heart. I hope he lights it up and gets paid big money because he's looked everybody in the face and told them, like, all that doubt y'all had for me, I could play quarterback in the league.
Yep.
So, all right. Anything else before we move over to the NBA?
No.
Let's go. NBA offseason. Come on, man. This shit is crazy every year. Every single summer, go ahead and reload and look at rosters because everybody's roster's completely flipped every year. And for the days of someone spending 8-9 years with a team, that shit is out, bro. Like there was times where a roster would come up and then next year, like couple changes, couple additions, bro. Rosters are getting flipped completely over every single year.
Superstars moving. Yeah.
The Lakers flipped their whole roster outside of 4 players. The whole thing, everybody. The Bulls added a ton of players. So the NBA is a 365 league, similar to the NFL, but the NBA is wild. I want to talk about some offseason moves, favorite moves of the summer, trade, sign. Who's a real contender now? Give me one of your favorite moves. We could talk about Westbrook in LA as well. But give me your favorite moves of the summer, trade, sign.
You ready for this?
Yes.
My favorite move of the summer, and I'll preface this by saying this, man. Obviously, the NBA is an arms race, right? You want to get the biggest.
That's a great way to put it.
Biggest and baddest guns that you possibly can.
Cold War out here.
It's a cold war out here, right? It's Halliburton. So in that pursuit of acquiring those arms, once you get them, right, due to the fact that we're in a salary cap situation with this league, you have to make shrewd moves around those guys, right? You have to maximize the talent that you put around your big dogs, right? And you have to do that by being smart, making shrewd moves, finding guys, whatever it might be. With that being said, the Brooklyn Nets getting Patty Mills for 2 years and $12 million, to me, is one of the most significant signings in this NBA offseason, right? Patty Mills is a guy. We talk about going to war with guys. We talk about guys that can play in playoff series.
For those who don't know, he's talking about the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets. What I say? The New Jersey Nets?
I don't even know if you. I shouldn't have cut you off. I thought you didn't say the squad, but yeah.
Brooklyn Nets signing Patty Mills. When you're doing this, we talk all the time about guys that can play in playoff series, guys that can play in the finals, guys that you want in a game 7, guys that can give you 30 minutes. You know exactly what you're going to get. Winners, championship caliber players, guys you're not worried about. In a league full of guys that you worry about in those moments, even if they're good in the regular season. You can have guys that are great regular season players, but you worry about them in those moments. That is not the case with Patty Mills. Patty Mills is an absolute gamer. Absolute gamer. He's going to do all the things that are going to contribute to winning, and he's going to do them in the playoffs for you. And he's a guy that absolutely can swing a game for you when it matters. And you add him to this core of Durant, Harden, and Irving, where, again, you don't have a lot of wiggle room when you're paying those three guys $40 million a year each, right? You really have to try to find signings like this that can make you better because you don't have a ton of money to add other players. So when you add a guy who could have easily gotten more than $6 million per year, right? So you convince him to take a pay cut to come do what you're doing. He's an NBA champion. You've seen him in the Olympics, right? This is, again, a guy who shows up on big stages and gets it done and can play. I just thought that was a huge move for them, in addition to some of the other moves that they made. But getting him as your new guy that you bring in, like that's huge. Huge. I don't know how they did it.
Shout out Patty.
Shout out Patty Mills. Just had a great Olympic run. Had 38 in their medal game. Like, he is a baller. He is a hooper. A hooper's hooper is Patty Mills. Love it. Don't bring me his stats or anything like that. If you watch hoop, if you watch basketball, you fully understand what you're getting with that guy. And they just need guys who they can trust in high pressure moments, and Patty Mills is that. So I think they stole him. My second signing would be the Kyle Lowry to the Heat, because nothing's ever made more sense. And they're just going to play goon ball, the likes of which you've never seen. But the Patty Mills going to the Nets, I think that move is huge, and we will be talking about it next summer when he has 30 in some random night in Milwaukee in the playoff series.
Yo, the Nets, I agree 100%. Patty Mills is a gamer. Shout Patty.
Gamer.
Yo, some of my favorite hoopers of our generation are JJ Barea and Patty Mills.
Yeah.
Like, just ball players. Just
ball players.
What do you need? I can show up, and in big moments. Yo, that's a great way to put it. For a league full of guys that we think can hoop, and then the playoffs roll around and shit gets spooky. Patty Mills is a guy you don't have to worry about. You know what he's gonna do. He's championship bred. Popovich bred.
A winner. He's out there to win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. My favorite move of the summer, before we get to Westbrook, Kyle Lowry, Miami Heat, man. Get Jimmy Butler some more dogs to play with, and they keep all the shooting with Duncan Robinson. Paid. Kids, if you're looking for something to work on in the gym, just fucking let it fly. I don't care if you can't. I don't care if you can't dribble. I don't care if you don't have size. If you don't have no lift, if you can let that bitch fly at a consistent 40%, 45% rate from three, you're gonna be in the league for 15 years.
Get $90 million.
You too can get $90 million.
Duncan Robinson will make well over $100 million playing basketball. Yes.
You too can get $90 million.
$90 million.
So yeah, man. If you're a shooter, make sure you keep shooting, knock all that in. Yep. I really like that move for the Miami Heat, just because this is who Jimmy Butler been looking for, guys like this all over the league. Like, man,
another dude who doesn't get haircuts.
Where are the dogs? I want to play with them.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that he galvanized everyone in the bubble, got them rocking with Jay Crowder, fucking Tyler Hero. Like, these guys are just hoopers, and they don't give a fuck. That's what Jimmy's looking for, people that don't give a fuck and want to hoop. And Kyle Lowry is just that.
And Lowry, you look at his body, you kind of look at him, and you're like, oh, this is a guy we're just kind of waiting for him to break down. It hasn't happened. No. Like, he is still playing at a very high level. Was the second best player on a championship team 3 years ago, right? And yeah, like you said, he's gonna come bring his lunch pill every single day and dog. Like, it's just gonna be a lot of scrappiness. He's a leader. He fits into the Heat culture. Absolutely perfect. Jimmy's never going to have to look over and worry, is Kyle going to bring it tonight? Like, Kyle Lowry is 100% about that action, and can still play and fits exactly what they want to do.
No,
Yeah,
but-
I think that's it's a beautiful move.
Yes, and okay, like let's not forget about Victor Oladipo. It's to the point now where I don't even know if Victor can play. I need to reevaluate the whole shit.
They got him for like a 1 year, $6
But-
million bucks.
But yo, they got him.
if he can.
Yeah, they got him for the low. They added Markieff Morris. That's a bucket.
Yeah, guys that can play.
Yeah, they added Markieff Morris. That's a bucket. PJ Tucker's a dog.
Can PJ Tucker just showed you he can play 35 minutes a night in the NBA Finals.
Yo,
Heat guy.
yes. Just don't ask me to score. I'll do
Yeah.
whatever. I'll do whatever else you want me to do.
Spoelstra's like, fine. I went to the finals averaging like 95 points a game with that Heat team a couple of years ago, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's like as long as like you don't ask me to give you 6, 7, 8 a game, I'm cool, man. Don't even pass me the rock. You know
If
what
you're
I'm saying?
Spo, you're looking at the roster and you say, wow, you gave me PJ Tucker and Kyle Lowry, knowing what I like to do. This is
You add PJ Tucker, Kyle Lowry, Markieff Morris, and then keep Duncan Robinson to shoot it. And then hopefully Tyler Hero
bounces back.
bounces back and has been in the gym, does his thing.
Bam could take a huge leap again.
I mean, and then if Victor shows up and is good, man, they got a lot of players over there, bro. And then Jimmy's leading the snake.
And
So-
no team had more of a bubble hangover than the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
No team had more of a bubble hangover than the Miami Heat. Last year was just they were gassed. I think that team's going to come back looking good. Yeah, don't sleep on Miami this year.
Yeah, I mean, I also just think that they played over their head in the bubble. But yeah, they were gassed. But now they had another year. The young guys, Hero and those guys played another year in the system. Bam is another year older. Played with the Olympic guys, got some more Olympic experience. So now you're going to come into this year with Lowry, who's won a ring, knows how to get it done, and is pushing to get shit done before his career is over. Then you add Jimmy, who's getting older. He knows what time it is. And then you got a couple young guys, and then you got a bunch of dogs on the rest of the roster, and you got one of the best coaches in the league in Spoelstra. Like, man, I'm in. I'm in for this team.
And I know you love Dragic, but Lowry for Dragic is a no-brainer.
Yeah, Dragic is my boy, but he's also breaking down and old.
Yeah, he's breaking down.
Yeah. So I feel that. And I'm glad he was able to finesse. Yo, I remember when he took a cut to stay, I was like,
Yeah.
you should have left, my boy.
Yeah.
Like that. And I get Jimmy Butler, that's his guy, and he told
It
him
was
to
last
stay.
year.
Yeah. But he could have made a little bit more money in dips.
South Florida.
South Florida chilling, his guy, Jimmy B, whatever.
No
So
state
he
taxes, kicking it. Yeah.
so he stayed and chilled. So I get it.
Shout out Haslam for getting for getting deal year number 20.
19, yeah.
19
19 for
2.6
Haslam.
million. I love it. That tells you everything you need to know about that organization, though, that they keep bringing this dude back every single year. Doesn't play, but that's how much they value him.
They might as well just clear the roster spot and just give him a polo and be like, you're a special advisor. Like some,
he'll walk right. Yeah, that's what he'll be.
Do you know
when
what
he
I'm saying?
retires. Yeah.
but like, why even like, go add another roster spot just for someone else?
Because what they gonna do? Pay him $2.5 million to be a special advisor?
Yeah. just to clear the roster spot. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
gonna be fuck around, be the CEO of Carnival Cruise Line after he retires. Mickey Aarons is gonna hook him up, man. He's got him taken care of. It's like Dirk.
Yeah, it's like
A lifer. Dog, he's from Miami, went to Florida, and has played 19 years for the Miami Heat.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
More life.
Chilling, more life.
Shout out UD. And he's
out UD.
got a bunch of jewelry and a pocket full of stinkies. He's all
Yeah.
good.
and still got an appetite to smack a motherfucker when
He
necessary.
played one game last year and came in and smacked somebody.
Played one game, he was ready to smack buddies like off rip. So he still got the appetite to do what he want to do. Shout out UD.
Yeah.
So,
Career.
hey man, let's talk about Russell Westbrook. Let's talk about the Lakers in general. What are your yo? I haven't heard too much slander on the Westbrook move.
Got to get guys.
I don't know. Listen, real quick. I don't have any slander, but it's very rare that no one slanders the move, and I haven't seen any. Are people just scared to come out and say it? Because I know there's some people like, man, this shit not gonna work, and they just haven't come out and said it.
Nobody wants to be on wax.
Nobody wants to be on wax.
The one who trashed it. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, this is going to be a completely different situation. I did hear someone say it's like, hey, no one has had more elite teammate combinations than Russell Westbrook in their career, and he still hasn't gotten it done. And when you kind of look at it, it's like, yeah, he's played with KD, he's played with Harden, he's played with Beal. Outside of those couple years in Oklahoma City after Kevin Durant left, he's always played with another star. So people were like, hey, what's going to be different this year? But to me, kind of similar to what we were talking about as far as Patty Mills going to the Nets, as far as Kyle Lowry going to the Raptors, these are guys that can play. These are guys that can play. And the Lakers didn't have enough of those guys last year when it really mattered. So you bring in Russ, you got to try something. If you're the Lakers, and obviously this LeBron James window we like to think it's going to stay open forever, but it's going to close. It's closing. I think last year was kind of the beginning of that, and he was still phenomenal. But you got to try to make something happen, especially when you're up against the cap and you can't really make a ton of moves. If there's a superstar out there that you can go give it a try. Why not? Trust the system. Trust bringing them into LeBron's orb or whatever it might be, and hope that that's going to make a difference for you. But I don't have a problem with that move. You can start to pick apart the basketball aspect of it. He's not a great shooter, and that's what they needed. And they did send some shooting out to get him. But you know the deal with what Kuz was. We know what KCP is. Give it a try, man. They had to try something different.
Listen, man, Los Angeles Lakers. This is
going to play every night.
Yeah, Russ going to play every night. Ain't no question about that. Listen to this. Listen to how many people flipped. Who's out in LA for the Lakers? Dennis Schroeder out. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope out. Kyle Kuzma out. Montrezl Harrell out. Alex Caruso. Shout out Caruso, bully. Markieff Morris out. Andre Drummond out. Ben McLemore out. Costas Antetokounmpo.
Is he out?
He's gone.
I guess once Giannis signed that Supermax, his future was over with LA, huh? They're like, we only kept you around in case Giannis wanted to come out west.
Hey, man, the only person they re-signed, Taylor Horton Tucker, Chicago stand-up. Then we got who's in? Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, Melo,
play.
Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, Dwight Howard.
Trevor Ariza, man, talk about a guy who keeps just stay. I thought he had been out the league. Trevor Ariza was winning championships with Kobe.
Yeah, facts.
He's been in the league forever, man.
Yo, and I remember when he left LA to go to Houston, when it happened, I was like, man, we're not going to hear from Buddy too much.
If you had to guess how much money you think, I know we're still going on this, but how much money do you think Trevor Ariza has made playing professional basketball? Hey, be a good guy, stay available. This is what your life can be.
190 million.
That's a lot. $117 million.
117. Okay.
Great life. Solid
life. Okay. Who's in? Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, Dwight Howard, Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk, Mac McClung is a rookie. Chandy Brown, Shawndy Brown. I don't know who that is. He's a unrestricted free agent. I think he's a rookie as well. Joel Ayayi. I don't know who that is either. But Austin Reeves. Okay. But the guys at the top, they flipped the whole roster. Them KCP days are over. The Kyle Kuzma shit is over. The Dennis Schroeder 1 year over. You're not worried too much about the basketball aspect of adding Westbrook. What do you think of overall?
Well, no, I am worried about it, but I mean, I just think that if you're the Lakers, you need to make a move, and I think that was the superstar that was available for you to get, and you didn't really have to give up a ton to get him. I mean, I like Kuz, I like KCP, but whatever. Yeah, I think some of those other moves are underrated, like bringing back Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was a difference maker for them when they won the championship.
Yes, sir.
Dwight Howard is still a center that's going to give you 15 to 20. And his 15 to 20 minutes, he's going to give you good work. I like that move. I like Bazemore. I like bringing in Malik Monk. Why not take a flyer on Malik Monk and Kendrick Nunn? Those are two guys who have shown that they can score in this league, a little bit inconsistent. But again, as you go through the regular season, and this team's going to have some load management, and they're going to have to manufacture some wins on nights. So why not get a guy like Malik Monk on the right night? If LeBron is sitting, Malik Monk can go for 30. You know what I mean? If Russ is sitting, Malik Monk can go for 30. Kendrick Nunn can give you 20, 25. He's coming from that Heat system. He was in the finals 2 years ago.
Let me ask you something. Because listen to some of these guys some more. Carmelo Anthony, Kendrick Nunn, Wayne Ellington, Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk. Somebody's not playing.
Yeah.
So did they just sell to everyone that like, yo, you guys are gonna? Because I feel like they sold the 2-guard position to about 6 people.
Yeah.
Melo, you're getting 30 a night. You're getting 30 minutes a night. Ellington, 25 minutes a night. Oh yeah, come on over. You can play all day. Bazemore, 25 minutes. Is it is that going to be an issue, or is it just is it just one of those things where they're like, yo, I want to play with LeBron, I'll do whatever. If I don't play at all, cool.
Yeah.
If not, cool. Because Frank Vogel will sit motherfuckers. Ask Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, he will literally not play you.
he will DNP you.
And that
for
might be
weeks
what
at a time.
that might be what happens. But again, you got to bring in the talent, let it all play out, see who your best combination are. The thing is, some of those guys are going to play, and if you end up being that right guy in that role with this team, and you'll be fine. I mean, what other options does Bazemore have at relevancy? Let's be completely honest. You know what I mean? Bazemore's he's made a lot of money in the NBA. Don't get it twisted. He signed a $70 million deal with the Hawks, and we've talked about his Under Armour deal before, and he's got jewelry. So he's like, yeah, I'll go out to LA and chase another ring, and maybe I can get some time, and maybe I'll have my moment. Ellington, I mean, look, you're Wayne Ellington. Like, have a seat. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't for you. Kendrick Nunn, you're a young guy. You go out to LA, you make it happen, you get another shot at free agency next year.
I put it like this. I think
that was a good Oladipo spot, but he likes South Beach.
I think there's a good opening for one of these dudes to, like, if they come up and start producing consistently and knocking shit down, like KCP would go on stretches. KCP would go on stretches where I'm like, yo, this dude is a very valuable piece of this.
He was great in the playoffs for them that year. They won
like,
the championship.
Yo, this dude is very valuable. So you know what I'm saying? There's a slot for whoever it is. If it's Bazemore, if it's Monk. Monk can easily pull up, and all of a sudden he's getting big minutes next to LeBron and those boys.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. This is what I'll say on the Russell Westbrook edition. Hey man, when AD and LeBron are healthy, they were the favorites in the West. I don't give a fuck. Ask Phoenix. They were busting their ass, all that. So you're gonna tell me those two dudes are healthy with very mediocre guys around them, like KCP, Kuz, whatever. You're gonna add Dwight for size down low, who's a way better Andre Drummond.
Way better.
Yeah, way better Andre Drummond. And then you're gonna add Russell Westbrook. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Give it a try.
You're already telling me that you can't beat us when AD and LeBron are healthy, and then I add Russell Westbrook. They're gonna make it work. They're gonna be tough.
And also, kind of speaking to your log jam at that wing position for them, you can also trade guys. These are also guys that have value around the league, right? If Kendrick Nunn's not getting minutes, if Malik Monk's not getting minutes, if Bazemore's not getting minutes, you can flip those guys for a backup center or whatever it might be that could end up playing for you. You know what I mean? Like, those guys have value. They're not guys that nobody wants.
Right. Yeah. No. And I got him on a nothing deal.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I could flip these assets, move it around, package them into something more. Like, yeah.
Just cut some motherfuckers tomorrow.
I thought they had a really good. If you look at the Nets and the Lakers had two really good off seasons as far as teams that were kind of up against the cap and couldn't really do a ton. I thought that they both, shout out Pelinka and shout out Sean Marks. I think they both did a great job, all things considered. And yeah, I mean, we don't got to talk about Schroeder, but
no, I don't even want to talk about that.
It's been talked about.
That shit makes my stomach hurt.
I think his wife's looking at him like.
But like I said.
Sign your deal.
Because we were arguing in the group text back and forth. I think there's still a route for him to get a bunch of money next year.
I don't see it.
If he has a good year for Boston, he's still young enough. He could get a 4-year $100.
Nah, his story is written in this league because if you're signing Schroeder, what are you signing? He's not going to magically become your starting point guard, right? He is best served as a sixth man. His best role is a sixth man. He's not going to start in Boston. They just gave Marcus Smart $77 million last year. He's coming off the bench in Boston.
Shout out Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
We're going to talk about another nigga that don't just plays hard.
77 rugged, ugly as shit.
Works on his game, and then all of a sudden,
another member of the no haircut crew. Never had a lineup.
Another pimple face, no haircut, played hard. Really turned it around. Remember, he had that big incident at Oklahoma State with the dude in the stands.
Yeah.
Shout out Marcus Smart, man. Played hard, developed somewhat of a jumper where you at least have to stick him. Can knock it down. Shout out Marcus Smart, man.
77 mil.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Melo as well, man. I think he played well in Portland. Portland was like a dream spot for him.
I mean,
just get the ball on the wing and put it up.
I don't have to. You guys don't care about defense?
I don't. I don't have to do shit else over here. Like that's it. Cool. I'm with that. So I'm excited to see this Lakers team, man. And you were talking about Russell Westbrook having crazy combinations. This guy LeBron. Some of these LeBron rosters are insane.
Oh yeah.
If you go back, if you go back and look at him, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But Russell Westbrook is now a Los Angeles Laker playing at the crib, and shit could get ugly.
Definitely.
Should we move over to Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears and talk a little Chicago? We're probably gonna give y'all a little no catch up fast food full conversation on just Chicago shit because we didn't even. Oh, really quick, let me go back to the NBA offseason before we close the show with Justin Fields. Give me your couple minute evaluation of the Bulls. Are you excited? DeRozan's now in the building. Zach LaVine play with some superstars. Finally got a little taste of some winning, which I think will help. When you're used to losing and all of a sudden you start winning, you get that feeling on that level. You could bring that over to the regular season as well. Before like I said, we're gonna give y'all probably some NK fast food on just the Chicago shit only. I'll try to get like Ricky O'Donnell or somebody on to come talk this. But what are your thoughts on the moves, man? Hey, AK not fucking around.
I'll give you credit for making me come around on the DeRozan thing, because I think when you first look at it, you look at the number, you start instantly thinking about what's wrong with the deal, right?
Yeah.
And I think you were the one that was like, look, man, we've been asking for them to get talent. We've been asking for them to be aggressive. We've been asking for them to get professional basketball players. And that's what they did. Fit aside, right? That's for Billy to figure out, right? That's for Billy to figure out what you're going to do with these guys. But you bring in Lonzo Ball, young guy who checks a lot of different boxes for us. He checks the perimeter defense. He checks the primary playmaker for us, the point guard, right? I get he's not your traditional Chris Paul type of point guard, but we had nothing last year, especially in late game situations. Then you add in DeMar DeRozan, who, look, with his flaws, I get he's not a great three-point shooter, might not be the best defender in the world, but has consistently for 10 plus years in this league put up numbers. Was putting up numbers in San Antonio, was putting up numbers in Toronto, and was doing it on winning ball clubs, right? So you start bringing guys like that, and you add the Vooch thing, right? You bring in guys like that, and you really want to evaluate Zach LaVine. You can't evaluate him when there's no talent. You can't evaluate him when you're evaluating everybody else on the roster, right? So now you're able to really look at LaVine, see what he can do around some real talent, and you bring in guys who, no matter what, you know these guys can play ball. Like, all of these guys can play ball. DeMar DeRozan can absolutely play basketball and has had a lot of success in this league doing it, and has reinvented himself as a player and has became a great playmaker and does a lot for you. So I think, like, yeah, it's easy to say, like, oh, how does Zach and DeMar work, and we still can't play D down low and all this. Is like, look, man, when you look at the roster, we got 5 guys that can start that we know can play. And we know that we're not going to be, oh, is Wendell going to show up tonight? Or what's up with Laurie? Or is this guy going to be any good? It's like these guys are established NBA players. And what they've done since they've been here is bring in established NBA players who have done it at a high level. So I'm excited. I'm not going to sit here and worry about the $85 million to DeMar. I'm not going to sit here and worry about Vooch being over 30 years old. I'm just happy that I know that when I watch the Bulls next year, I'm going to be watching ball players that can hoop.
Yo, real NBA hoopers.
Real NBA hoopers. You're not going to – look, man, it's great to try to go after these big fish, but it's like, you see how this works. You're not getting them. You're not getting them, man. Like, you're just not. And it goes a long way towards just building us back up towards relevancy and respectability. I know that the one thing that you hate more than anything is just being mediocre for the sake of being mediocre, and that's not this. These are big swings.
Yeah.
And if it works, it's going to be like, wow, this is great. So I'm excited about it, man. I'm ready to go.
Yo, listen, if you could tell me we're going to make the playoffs, which we are going to do now, and we have a real shot at winning a playoff series now too. It's not like we're just going to eke into the playoffs and then get rolled over. They could easily be a 5 in the East and then have a real competitive shot at winning a series. So, yeah, man, I agree with you. These are real-time hoopers. We're going to be watching a product on the floor that has some talent. Let me ask you this. You mentioned Zach LaVine and evaluating him. I would say I don't think we have to evaluate his talent. It's more just can this dude lead some guys to win a lot of games?
That's what I meant. Yeah. Not like can he play? Like, he averaged 27 points a game last year. Clearly he can play in the NBA. Just you want to put him around. You want to put him around some guys that can play and see what that looks like. To your point, until this year in Tokyo, He's never played with nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Facts.
Nobody.
Yeah, facts.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Listen, like I said, the fit is going to be interesting, but I think you also made a really good point. That's for Billy to figure out. That's why he cashes checks.
Uh-huh.
So get me some players, and then we'll figure out how to make it work. And DeMar
Exactly.
DeRozan is a player.
A
Vucevic
player.
is a player. Levine's a player. I cannot wait to see Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Because he could fuck around and show up and be an absolute dog too. He could have elevated even more over the offseason, fresh start, new team with some more pieces around him than he had in New Orleans. So I'm excited for that. And how old is Lonzo now, bro? 23?
23.
Yeah,
super young, man.
Yeah. So
and coming out, I've been on Lonzo Ball Island, man. Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that and everything else that they got going on. Sure, DeRozan's making a lot of bread, but we can get flexible if necessary.
You want
but
players in this league, it costs money.
That's a good way to put it, bro. That's a good way to put it. All right, let's we'll have a ton more on the Bulls and the moves and AK and Donovan and DeRozan going forward. But let's jump over to Justin Fields, aka QB1, aka Uno, aka whatever you want to call him. A lot of people are saying Chicago is too excited this one preseason game. G, get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
We let us get all these GOAT takes. This is the best quarterback in Bears history right now.
Already.
So let us get these takes off. We're excited. How is your overall feeling and just around the team in general? How you feeling about Fields, the quote unquote quarterback controversy, or who's gonna play this, that, and the third? Like, how you feel about everything right now?
I think him starting to get reps with the ones this late in training camp kind of tells you where we're headed with this right now. I think Justin Fields is going to be named the Week 1 starter for the Chicago Bears.
Really?
Yeah, I think why would you give him reps with the ones this late in the game if he's not your number one? If you're not at least floating the idea of him being your number one. Again, what's happening right now, just like the Dak situation, what's happening in camp right now absolutely matters. Read the tea leaves. If a guy's not playing, he's in doubt for Week 1. If a guy's getting QB1 reps and more QB1 reps, that means the coach is having second thoughts about who QB1 is. It's all there for you. Don't listen to what Nagy says.
Listen to what he's saying.
Watch what he does. So I'm excited about that, man. Obviously, I haven't been excited for a preseason game.
You said we got to get Riddick on the line?
Yeah, we need exactly. Hey, if you want to know what's going on in Chicago, because Louis Riddick calls him Matt. Like he's directly talking to Matt Nagy. That's his guy. He talks to him every morning before he goes on Get Up. Louis Riddick is so plugged in with Chicago Bears fans. If you want to know what's going on in Hallis Hall, listen to Louis Riddick, because everything he's getting is directly from Matt Nagy and anybody else involved over there. But he calls him Matt. He doesn't call him Coach Nagy. He literally calls him Matt, like that's his guy. Like they go out and they kick it.
Yeah.
So I think you listen to that, read the tea leaves and what's going on with that, and you can kind of see where we're headed. I do think that Fields, if he comes out and lights it up again in preseason game number 2, I think that you're going to see Nagy name him the starter. Where I feel about the Bears overall, look, man, I'm excited about this year. I think there's plenty of things that we're going to be excited about. I think there's going to be plenty of things that we're going to enjoy watching, but I do not think that this football team is going to be good. I am the biggest proponent of the offensive line out there. I think the game is won at the line of scrimmage, offensive and defensive lines. And you talk about a unit last year that was a position of weakness for us, right? I know we got better as the season progressed, but overall a position of weakness for the Bears, and you got worse. Your rookie second-round draft pick tackle is not playing. You traded your other tackle who wasn't that good but was average in what was his name? Or they cut him, the guy, Charles Leno. And now you have a guy who was behind Leno who's going to come up and start for you. Like, that's going to be ugly. You can't win in this league with bad offensive line play. And I think you're going to run into a lot of the same issues that you had last year.
Coming off an injury as well.
Yeah, these guys, you can't bullshit with the offensive line. That's my F for Pace right now, is that the offensive line was a problem last year. We all knew it, and you didn't really do anything to address it. And you draft another offensive lineman that's injured. Like, I like the Jenkins story. It seemed like that guy, he's a nasty guy. He's got a great edge. He plays well.
He's nasty.
Hey, man, the number one ability is availability, and the boy ain't available yet. So, again, read the leaves. If a guy's not practicing right now, he's in doubt for week 1, and he has yet to practice in the Chicago Bears uniform.
He's nasty. That's what everybody says.
Yeah, he's a nasty guy. He's got a mean streak. Like, that's great. I love it. But, man, he's not
nasty.
– no one – he's nasty in the training room right now. Like, so that's an issue, man. Like, you gotta protect the quarterback. It goes with running the ball, goes with throwing the ball. And I just don't know how you could watch the offensive line last year and not be on the phone with every single available free agent. Like, you bring in Jason Peters, who's 40.
I just really, that's interesting. We'll see if he can. We'll see what that happens. But yeah, I think Justin Fields is in a position like we've never seen in the NFL as for a rookie quarterback. You have a franchise that hasn't had a quarterback in its entire career. We've had a couple of quarterbacks. Jay Cutler was a good quarterback. But he's coming off a city that's clamoring for wins, loves the Bears, and he's coming off the back of a quarterback that went number 2 that was garbage. And I just want him to seize this opportunity because he can own the city of Chicago very easily.
Without a doubt.
Very easily can own and run the city and just has to play well, which we know he could do. Hey, man, I'm on record any way you want me to say it. I think Justin Fields needs to be playing week 1. I'm not going to come out and say he's going to be playing week 1 because I also think Matt Nagy does a lot of goofy ass shit. And sometimes I feel like you want your head coach to be making all the decisions. And sometimes, I don't know if it's my gut or just paying attention, I feel like he gets input from a lot of different places on different things that he should be doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when Pete Carroll made the switch to Russell Wilson, that was his decision. I don't give a fuck what the front office is telling me or the GM or we just spent money on whoever. I just feel like him and Pace are like making decisions together.
Really? I honestly couldn't disagree more. I think really? Nagy strikes me as a guy who does make final decisions and kind of sticks with them and doesn't necessarily I don't think him and Pace are in as lockstep as we thought. I mean, Pace went out and traded for Foles. Like, nah, I think there's been some weird shit that's happened there. I don't think that relationship is as tight as you might make it sound.
I disagree with you. I think they're
unfortunately they're in bed together, right?
Right.
Yeah. But I don't think they're in bed together. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're in the same situation where when one goes, the other one's gone too. Like, they are married, but I don't think they're. Yeah.
So that's why I think it's like that. I think they're both in bed together, and the house is on fire, and they're both asking each other like, "Yo, what do you think the best move here is?" Because, like, yo, listen, if Nagy does some shit Pace doesn't like, Pace is gonna be like, "Yo, bro, my job's on. I'm on his ass." Like, I think they're fucking lockstep. Like,
lockstep, huh?
Yeah, I think they're having conversations like, "Hey, what do we do here? Do we play him week 1?" Like that's where I get kind of shaky on it because I just feel like the whole offense thing. Like I feel like someone told Nagy to give up the play calling last year. He didn't voluntarily do that himself. You feel me?
See, like, I think that people have been telling him forever to give up the play calling, and it finally got so bad that he stubbornly did it, and then quietly 2 weeks later took it back. That is why I think that he is fully in charge.
But isn't that him kind of listening to outside noise? Like, yo, maybe you should.
Yeah, but at some point you're almost like, yeah, fuck y'all. I'll do it. I'll show you. You think it's going to get better? Fine. Take the fucking play calling responsibilities.
Right.
It didn't get better. Now I'm going to slowly take it back.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
And then lie to y'all and be like,
and then lie to y'all. Yeah, what do you? And then remember that press conference? Like, we saw you calling the plays. Like what? That was Bill.
Calling the plays. What
but you had the chart and you were talking. He's like,
nah.
I don't know. I don't really know.
So we can disagree there, but yeah, I think he's in lockstep more than you think he is. I think for sure that they're having conversations like, I don't want this to happen. I think it should or whatever. And I think that they're like coming to an agreement. This is how we're going to move forward. But
according to Sam Acho on Get Up, they now have they by drafting Justin Fields, Pace and Nagy have gotten themselves 4 extra years on their deals. What he says. So I had a tweet yesterday. No more achos allowed on the airwaves. Each of them. both of them dudes are out of their fucking mind.
Too many achos.
Both of them dudes are terrible.
No more achos, bro.
Yeah, and neither of them can dress.
Yo, what's my guy on Fox now?
Emmanuel Acho cannot
Emmanuel.
dress.
Yo, some days he hits home runs, then
Some
other
days
he shows
fucking-
up,
so
and
it's
I'm like,
terrible.
yo, what the fuck is going on here?
Yo, yeah. We need to have I think we should do this one time, like the all-time suit crew. Like the best dress announcers. So some of these dudes, you're right. Like first off, you got a budget for wardrobe, you got stylists at your disposal, and you show up looking like this.
Yo, shout out.
Like, Lou Riddick, always crispy.
Clean. You know who else is dumb clean all time? Nate Burleson.
Nate Burleson's stupid clean.
Yo,
and he just got Good Morning America or Today Show or some shit.
Yeah,
Shout out Nate
yeah.
Burleson.
Shout out Nate Burleson.
Always crispy and clean.
Crispy, clean. Yeah,
Clean.
shout out Nate Burleson.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm on record for the 100th time saying that Justin Fields needs to play all 16. He needs to play all 16 this year. He needs to play all 16 the year after that. He needs to play all 16 the year after that. Then we could give up if he's garbage, we can then dump it, whatever. But give my man reps in real NFL meaningful games. Give him reps. Play the best players. Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Andy Dalton, and he has more potential than Andy Dalton will ever have. So run the man on the field. Go do it. I also want to make it clear.
And be comfortable with the fact that you have Andy Dalton behind him.
Right.
Like, that's a solid. If Justin Fields is good, you now have a very strong quarterback room. Because, for all we talk about Dalton, he's a professional NFL quarterback.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He deserves to be in the league, right? And he's played a lot of games. He's played in playoffs. He's got a wealth of experience. Like, he's a good guy to kind of have behind Fields. So feel comfortable about your room. But you don't owe Andy Dalton. I think when they signed him, they told him he was going to be the starter. And they don't want to have to go back on that because obviously that gets around the league and your credibility, whatever. But it's like, yo, things change.
The only thing they owe Andy Dalton is $10 million.
And he's going to get it.
That's it.
And he's going to get it.
That's it. So I'm excited, though, to wrap it up. It is something to look forward to. The NFL season is going to be great. All the storylines we talked about, we're gonna break it all down. We're back, mate, ladies and gentlemen. We back talking shit. No catch up. Sports Talk via Chicago is back off summer break. Yo, put Portugal on your list. You got to get out there and check it out.
Yeah, it looked dope.
It was amazing. Portugal is tough, but we're back now. We back talking shit. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe, man. YouTube, iTunes, everywhere. Tell the homies. Write some reviews on iTunes for us, too, if you can. That always helps the love on the pod. Push it up the charts. Drop the comments on YouTube. We got a lot of stuff coming on. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. No catch up. Sports Talk via Chicago. Let's get it.